Find out what's going on. Get involved. Change things from the inside. Make a difference. Take pride. Multicultural at its best. The Luisa Marshall Show. Coming up.
Today, all new Simply the Best Season 6. It is with sadness that our good friend and supporter Paul Pincott's beloved Can Am Importique movie prop and set decor warehouse is now closing down after 38 years. We had our last filming at the Lake City studio and a heartwarming interview with Paul.
We are officially closed on the 31st, and the naval auction is.
Get inspired with Ballet Philippines. Masterpieces didn't only showcase the culture of the Philippines through dance, but showed the ability of talented Filipino dancers to also dominate the international stage through ballet. Ballet Philippines President and former Miss Universe Margie Moran Florendo talks about the challenges and the impact it has created all over the world. All these coming up. Hello, hello, hello. We have a very special show featuring for the first time the world-famous Ballet Philippines and my interview with Ballet Philippines President, former Miss Universe Margie Moran Florendo. But first, we'd like to take you to Lake City studio one last time. Can Am Importique is closing its doors after 38 years. Can Am Importique has provided theme movie props for over 2,000 films. It has hosted numerous corporate parties, weddings, fundraisings, and other events. It has been our home for over 4 years. Paul.
Luisa.
Oh,
Yeah. It's been quite a journey, eh?
it is, it is. How long have you been here?
Well, in this location 10 years, but the company 38 years.
38
Yeah,
years.
and it's been an absolute pleasure being able to host you and your celebrities and talks here and television.
It's an honor. It's such a wonderful feeling to be here. I'm so sad. My whole team is so sad that our home for over 4 years is not going to be here anymore. But we're going to follow you wherever you're going. So you're downsizing, Paul?
Yeah, I unfortunately had a tenant leave me a couple of years ago, and I've been unsuccessful in finding a subletter that's compatible to the movie work I do and
Exactly.
the rest of it. There's been a couple of close calls.
Yes.
Film school and White's across the street there, and a costume company, which would have, been a great mix. But unfortunately, and my dear landlord and I been very good allowing me to hang in here when I'm behind on a lot of things just because of the nature of the beast. It looks like they finally have a tenant. So it's a very large building, and I've got 24,000 feet here, and I really only need half of it, so I just can't literally afford it. So game plan is to welcome everyone in. I've done over 2,000 movies and productions over the years, so they're welcome to come down. Able Auction is going to come in to conduct the sale, which will be on Sunday, November 16th. So we're officially closed this weekend, so they can come in and do their tagging. And there's a lot of work because there's a lot of stuff here.
A lot of stuff. There's still a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So, anyways, I haven't had a break or holiday probably in the last 10, 15 years.
I know. There were
So-
2 music videos that happened here in the past.
Pardon my stance. If I fall asleep, you know why. We've had 2 music videos back to back, so I haven't had much sleep.
I know.
And then you phone me about a little interview, and like, here I am.
Well, because I really want to catch you when you're still here.
Yeah.
So, oh,
But,
Paul.
anyways, it's so
But
interesting how things have
Your life.
Oh, I could
is
write so many books. I mean, what's really ironic is this whole company literally started with auctions. I was I was a career student at Langara College, and 9 years later I tried all kinds of different ventures, and nothing really seemed to work out. I mean, concert promotions and parties, everything else. So anyways, I'm taking an elective course in my 9th year there, and I had a school teacher come to the class, and this was like, holy smokes, 55 years ago now, I guess. And she was looking for a volunteer to help her start Special Olympics. I'm like kind of intrigued by her little speech, and it sounded like a challenge. So I threw my arm up and started working with these special needs kids. It was a private school. 2 years later, there was a full-time teaching position that came up, and everyone's saying, well, apply for it. And I'm like, well, I've only got a 2-year college diploma, and I'm competing against all these postgraduate 10-year students from UBC, and I mean, they've got all the theory, but I had the practice. So I ended up getting the job. So I'm working with these kids and, teaching them everything, how to work in the community and get around and blah, blah. But being a private school, fundraising, so this is where I got my first introduction to fundraising. So what I would do way back then, I had a buddy who was an importer, and he was bringing in containers of like knockdown furniture that he would sell to Safeway stores. Customers would buy them and have to put them together. Well, he got a ton of them back. So then I would get them for next to nothing, and I would spend all my time on weekends or after work pounding these things together. And then I would go rent a truck when you couldn't get into the house, and I'd load these chairs. Then I'd go downtown and see my another buddy who was an international firearms dealer. So I would load the rest of the truck up with rifles, and these are all collectibles. They're in the original packing cases. And
wow.
I know it sounds a little absurd and not the right thing to do, but way back then, it was allowed.
Yeah.
And so I would get my 2 Irish setters, and usually once every 3 months I'd make this road trip through the interior. And my first stop was always RCMP. They would buy these guns because they were all collectibles. They were all rifles with bayonets and everything. And then I would hit auctioneers with the chairs and gift shops. So I built up quite a little route, and I kept this private school going by literally selling rockers and rifles. So 5 years later, the parents decide they want to get the kids back in the mainstream. And so that's what happened. Well, here I got my 2-year college diploma. I didn't have teacher certification. So now what am I going to do? So with the fundraising experience, I just carried on with it. So I opened a little boot store down in Port Moody. It's still there. And I had a buddy at the time, and antiques were the first ones in the country with reproduction antiques. So we'd literally go to mall shows and just BS our way. Oh yeah, we'd literally take the entire store and tell these, the world that, we should see our warehouses. Yeah, right. Make a long story short, the company grew and grew, and I got into all kinds of ventures. I mean, I could go on, but it's been quite an exciting journey, to say the least. It's been quite a challenge. The last 10, 15 years, I used to be on Low-Heat Highway in the Millennium Line when they put it up.
Yeah, that's where I first met you.
Yeah, and that initial drilling, I'll never forget that day. The old Ford Center used to be on Low-Heat, and this girl came running into the office. She says, "Everybody get out, the flood is coming." And we're like, yeah, are you okay, dear? So anyways, I was on my way to the bank for a deposit. I drove around, and I saw a little plume of water coming out the Low-Heat Highway from the Ford plant. So to the bank, and then I get the call, and it's like, oh my lordy, what are we gonna do? The water. So I guess the initial drilling, they finally burst the main water line for Burnaby. So I think there was like 3,500 gallons a minute coming up my warehouse. I had a Batmobile out front. It was underwater, now all the water seeping through. So I come roaring back, and Pamela Martin, she was with BCTV at the time, she's in the warehouse. And I'm like, Pamela, we gotta get out of here. This is scary, there's water everywhere, and there's there's electrical cords everywhere. And I could have made, I swear, the international news at that time. Took her to the other end of the warehouse, and the water was like a river, and all the props were flowing past the building down to Production Way.
Nobody took a picture of that?
Oh, I think everyone was in shock. Police and fire trucks. And the day before, I had a canoe sitting there. Can you imagine? If it was still there, I could have put her in the canoe and paddled her to.
Oh my.
So that was the beginning of a myriad of problems for, almost, I guess, 3.5 years. I was right in the middle of the SkyTrain construction. And believe me, I've never really believed in radio advertising as to this day as I do now.
Yes.
When you have every radio station in the country saying, folks, whatever you do, don't travel the low-heat highway. It's a traffic nightmare. Half the time you can't even get through. And man, did it work. And those days I was dealing with interior designers, doing pubs and restaurants. And all of a sudden, not many customers around. So anyways, now I had to make a change, and this is where we are today.
You got here today.
So anyways, because of all the issues, the landlord wouldn't renew the lease, so I moved here, which is like half, not even a half a block away, and decided, because I'd lost all that business, to get into the movie business. And of course, all through that, I carried on with fundraising, charity work, and variety clubs, and Boat for Hope. I've done for years and years and years. And came in here, and with an investor, we made a lot of leasehold improvements, like the studio you're sitting in right now, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And let me tell you, I am really going to miss this room. It's been, I don't have to tell you. You've been here
we're gonna
corporate
miss,
events.
Oh yes.
It was quite the spot.
We've done a lot of corporate events here where I, headlined, and I personally attended all those big, wonderful wrap-up parties that you guys have here. And of course, not to forget some fundraising events that the Filipino-Canadian community did inside here. And you are such a big part of that.
Well,
thank you so much, Paul.
Well, it was my pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Well, I've made a decision, and it's probably more health than anything else. I've got to recharge batteries. The landlord's been very good, allowing me to stay in spite of back rent, what have you. We are officially closed on the 31st, and the naval auction is. I've given them the go-ahead to come in to start tagging stuff, and we will have a big auction on November 16th, and we'll preview prior to that. The auction will be in your studio here.
Yes, Lake City Studio.
Well, we should name it after you.
For 4 years. Oh, jeez.
And
Paul,
basically,
you don't have to. Thank you so much.
Well, basically, this room will be all chairs. They'll have a bar on the stage and a big screen, and so it'll be, televised, I guess, internationally.
I'm gonna miss you. No, I'll be visiting you wherever you go. But all everything here that we used in the past years. Oh wow!
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go for a small lockup because I still have commitments with some movies, with props they've rented.
Yes.
And we've done. I think the last count there was over 2,000 movies. In productions we have, accrued through here. And, I'm really going to miss all that. But if I can find a small space and relax and hopefully get caught up, then I'm going to try and solicit an investor partner and hopefully maybe carry on again in the new year.
Yes.
Or something similar, but not so grand.
Yes. Yes, I'm
I
pretty
mean,
sure.
that's affordable.
Yeah. This is such a huge place to maintain.
Oh, yeah.
It's been an amazing journey for you, Paul, and I'm sure that everybody will miss this place.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure about that.
Well, already,
I'm gonna miss it.
already the tears are dropping every time someone finds out.
Before I came here, I was already in tears, Paul.
Yeah, well,
Oh, thank you
Join the
so
club.
much, Paul. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear.
You've been such a wonderful, dear supporter
Well.
of our show and of our, being
well.
a friend to me and my family, to Steve, to my daughters, to all my friends, to my community. Thank you so much.
well, it's been an absolute pleasure, and you are simply the best.
Our best wishes to Paul on his next venture. Thank you, Paul. We'll be back with Ballet Philippines. From neoclassical pieces to traditional, then to popular folk songs with sharp contemporary movements mixed into fluid ballet choreography. I am so proud of this talented group of young Filipinos. Positive rave reviews overflowed at the River Rock Theater after a long-standing ovation. We're here backstage at the River Rock Theater for Ballet Philippines.
Hi, I'm so excited to present Ballet Philippines. This show in Richmond, Canada. This is going to be our last show out in the American and Canadian West Coast tour that we're doing. This is our 6th city performance.
It's amazing, you know what? Welcome. Is this your first time in Vancouver?
Well, this is the first time we're performing in Vancouver.
performing,
Yes, that's right. As a matter of fact, it's our first time to perform in Canada. Yes.
Welcome. Big welcome. Ballet Philippines is a world-class ballet production. Why is it so special? What is so special about it?
Well, for one, we are the oldest surviving ballet company in Southeast Asia. We are celebrating our 45th year this year. And we are a resident company of the Cultural Center of the Philippines. I would like to say that we are the flagship ballet company in the Philippines. And we are a very versatile company. We are the first ones who, in the Philippines, who has produced performances that are classical, neoclassical, and contemporary, modern, that with using the same dancers, they have honed their expertise technically in different genre of the art of dance.
What makes it so unique from other ballet companies? Is it because it's all Filipinos, or is it because you're bringing the Filipino culture to the whole world?
Well, we are unique in the sense that we produce Filipino pieces using Filipino music as well as international music, and we also have, aside from Filipino choreographers teaching our dancers, we also have international ballet choreographers from different parts of the world that has come. In fact, we are using 2 pieces that was choreographed by our French guest choreographer, Reda Betancourt, and another one who's Russian, Georgian, George Berkatse, who is doing the first number of our program here, and the rest are Filipino. One is choreographed by our founder, Alice Reyes, and Alice Reyes this year has been proclaimed as national artist in the Philippines for dance. So I would say we are unique in a sense that we do neo-ethnic as well. We have, aside from the fact that we are Filipinos, we do well as a dance company.
So is this for everybody?
It is for everybody to watch. It's a variety of dances. It's called masterpieces because we're showing the best pieces and awarded pieces in our repertoire. We have 500 pieces of choreography in our repertoire in the last 45 years.
And how many are you bringing here?
We're bringing 11. Yeah.
Wow. That's probably tough to choose or to pick which masterpiece you're going to bring here.
Well, we had to choose something that will appeal to the both Filipino and Canadian audience. Okay, so we want to bring forth our arts and culture because that's the one way promoting the Philippines, that we are good at and very talented as artists. And in this sense, the Department of Tourism has asked us to also showcase what we can do as artists, showcasing Filipino artistry in dance, but using ballet as a movement.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm sure that I mean, now you're like ambassadors of goodwill, coming all the way from the Philippines, Manila, Philippines. What are the challenges that you face every time you're, touring?
Well, the challenges we face is that we go into theaters that have different requirements and different technical facilities, so we always have to adjust. And the dancers will need to pack and unpack, and travel by bus, by plane. And it could be very tiring for them because it's a very physical, they use their bodies to dance, and it's very physical. So we try to make them make sure they're well rested before a performance. But other than that, we've been very happy. We've had standing ovations in all our performances. So the success and the satisfaction outweighs whatever challenges that we have.
Well, being in the art itself, especially ballet, is quite challenging enough for our kababayans to bring over to, overseas.
It was not so difficult. In the United States, we had a very good audience. But it's not only the Filipinos that we are targeting. We are also targeting the mainstream, the American audience, the Canadian audience, and they've come to watch, particularly like in Portland and in Olympia, where there are not too many Filipinos, but there are a lot of Caucasians came to watch our shows. And that will make our Secretary of Tourism very happy because we're showcasing our talents to a wider audience.
Exactly. So you have targeted the people who really need to know our culture and understand us, right? You showcase it properly through that.
It's not the usual folk dance, or it's not the usual thing that we present to foreigners and even to Filipinos. And we want, we are also targeting Filipinos whose children has lost touch of the Philippines and our culture. So this is one way of showing it because they'll enjoy the contemporary portions of it. At the same time, we want to show the strength of the company by showing classical dances.
That's why I brought my daughter here. She's been dancing for 11 years, ballet, and I told her, you have to watch this one. And she told her friends about it.
Thank you for bringing her, and I'm sure she'll talk about it after the show.
Yeah. So lastly, what else do you have to do to inspire more people to watch Ballet Philippines?
Well, they're just, through social media and word of mouth. We look forward to going back to the Philippines and perform again. They will go right into rehearsals, and we've been very successful in really educating our audience, especially the youth. The youth is our target in the Philippines, and going back after successful performance will also still inspire them even more because we've been successful, and success and having good productions is the key.
Ms. Margie Moran, you've done a great job. You look fabulous and gorgeous as ever. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Ballet Philippines coming right now. Symphony Hill, in cooperation with the Consulate General of the Philippines in Vancouver, present Philippine Fest, a Filipino festival at Aberdeen Center. It's a dazzling showcase of Filipino culture, arts, entertainment, sports, handicrafts, and food. Sunday, November 23rd, from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. For more information, please call 604-551-3360 or 604-808-8945. Brace yourselves again. Luisa Marshall as Tina Turner at the Salt Spring Island Legion, November 21st, Friday, showtime at 8 p.m. Tickets available at brownpapertickets.com. Don't miss the Luisa Marshall Band at the Personas at Grand Villa Casino, Friday, December 12th, Saturday, December 13th. Showtime starts at 9 p.m. No cover charge. Whether you like ballet or not, we'll be talking and raving about Ballet Philippines for a long time. Thanks to Paul Pincott, Margie Moran Florendo, and even 8 Events Productions. Thanks for watching. Please don't drink and drive, don't text and drive, always be kind. Let's stop bullies. See you next week. Bye-bye.